Hey everybody, so you may have heard me espouse this mantra before, but it's worth repeating again and giving a few more examples. If you can't measure it, you can't manage it. If you can't measure it, you can't manage it. I'm going to give you two examples. Let's start with promotions. I can't tell you how many companies I talk to that run promotions with no way of measuring objectively the success or failure of such promotions. So we fall into these traps of like a conventional wisdom of how direct selling is supposed to be done, or how we're supposed to be running a direct selling company, and we do these promotions because we need to do them or we're supposed to do them, and then we run them and we don't actually have a way of knowing if they're going to be successful. So you might be thinking, well, Michel, of course we know if sales goes up, they're successful. But let's dig a little bit deeper into that. Remember, if we can't measure it, we can't manage it. So what is happening to sales not only on the month of that said promotion, but in the months following said promotion? What's happening to retention and churn in the months following said promotion? Do we see indicators that maybe we're stressing our field by running this promotion? So we get a short-term gain for potentially a long-term bump in attrition or a long-term drop in sales because we've burnt too many people out. Maybe there are some people who would love to be able to run for such a promotion, but for others we're pushing them to do too much too fast and burning them out, right? So there's also the possibility of looking at, if you can't measure it, you can't manage it, from a how do you know you're being successful or how do you know what's working perspective, as the helicopter flies over my head. The question around that we could ask ourselves is, I'll give you an example. I was at a very large multi-$100 million direct selling company a couple of months ago that very well known in the space, and we were talking about data science and talking about this idea, and it was a very happy day for them because they had hit a day where auto ship was at an all-time high in the last 5 years, and so they were all happy, and I said, okay, great guys, congratulations, great work. So how did that happen? Well, what did you do? And they all kind of looked at each other and they're like, well, we don't know. It could be this, that, or that. And I was like, well, how do you, if you don't know which one it was, you're working 5 times, you could be working 5 times harder than you need to be. And so that's another thing that I find is so many of these direct selling executives, so many of you guys out there are busting your chops every single day, burning your candles at both ends because you don't have enough ways to measure what's going on, and so it's difficult for you to know what to focus on. So think about your data, think about your analytics to be able to show you who's important, who's really worth your energy. How do you measure and truly measure the efficacy of the promotions you work so hard to put together? How do you know which of the initiatives you work so hard to plan and execute are actually the ones driving retention, driving revenue for you? If you can't measure it, you can't manage it, and you end up stressed out. There's a better way, guys. Thanks for listening.